Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. And we're here staring at our lovely judge, our familiar guy that we've seen so many times now. I actually think they've maybe drawn him to be a little bit older each game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. Who knows? But I do actually weirdly feel at the start of every trial, I know I'll probably get to a stage where I'm like, oh my god, Judge, but I feel like coziness about him sometimes, you know? And then we get halfway through the trial and I'm like, Judge, please, please. But yeah, we have a new trial we're starting right now. Bailiff, please bring in the first witness. Who is the first witness? Oh, she's back on the snackos. What? Interesting. Oh, I thought she said goodbye to the snackos. Yeah, that's actually very interesting that she's back on the snackos, honestly. Wasn't expecting this. In a very nervous fashion, right? Detective Sky, the courtroom is no place to be gorging yourself. She can eat whatever she wants. Let her eat the food. What's wrong with having a little snack? Yeah, what's wrong with a snack? Girls gotta eat, right? Girls gotta eat, Judge. Jesus, Judge. God forbid a girl eats some snackos in the middle of the courtroom. God forbid. She seems a little stressed out. She's having a snack, you know? Yeah, she definitely does seem stressed though. Like, Athena's right. I think everyone should have a right to eat a snack in the courtroom, honestly. Detective Sky, your testimony, please. Yeah, this is such an interesting character already. It really is an interesting character. Very pretty character, but very interesting character as well. I can't wait to see, get more acquainted with them. Yeah, about that. I just want to state for the record that I believe Tracy Wright is innocent. Okay, here we go. That's a good testimony. I'm sorry. Detective Sky, this path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end. So he genuinely believes that she's guilty. But I let it go and move on. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment for the Holy Mother. Well, we don't need to bring that here. Nobody's punishing Emma, I'll tell you that much. Very nervous once again here with the snackos. Oh no, look at the sad face. What? No, don't do that. Fine, I don't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear. I wonder if, in his own way, he was saying with this line here, the divine punishment, in a way, it's while, he probably does mean divine punishment, in a courtroom, if, I think you're allowed to give your opinion, but I think it's one of those things where, hey, he's probably saying, hey, be a bit impartial here. Because here it's I guess one of those things maybe a police officer or a forensic person could be, you have to just give the facts, I guess, I guess Emma got to sign tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy. What? Maybe that's why she's nervous? She and prosecutor, oh yeah, someone told me the pronunciation is as well, so let me just get that up really quickly as well. I think someone said I got it right, but then again, it's one of those things where it's been about 5 days since I played last, so I definitely want to I remember everything, by the way. I remember everything. So I want to make sure I get it right here. I hope you guys don't mind me getting this up here as well. It's one of those situations where I know it's not gonna be that big of a deal if I get it wrong here, but it's also a situation where I would like to also, get it right. Samadhi. Nayuta Samadhi. Yeah, they said I got it right, but I just wanted to make sure. Nayuta Samadhi. Shall we continue? The prosecution contends that the accused had clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky. All right. Please take a look at this poster. Wait, wait. Cancelled? It's a True Grammar poster from 13 years ago. Is it just me or is it a little different from the one in Miss Wright's dressing room? 110% it is. It says he's cancelled? Or maybe the whole... This is a revised version of the poster. Oh. This one says cancel under Mysterious. That's right, Mysterious left the troupe after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mysterious's right forearm near his elbow. See the big scar there? Yeah. He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick. Ouch, that's quite a scar. It does look really bad. Because of the accident, Magnifi Grammary concluded that Mysterious was too unskilled. Just for the show was to open, Magnifi announced Mysterious wouldn't be appearing, but in defiance of Magnifi's decision, Mysterious tried to go on stage anyway. What? This in turn caused McAfee to oust Mysterious from the troop on the spot. So he was like an ousted person of the Grand Marie troop, and it was Trucy who was going to let him back into the troop then? Kicking Mysterious out? That seems rather extreme. Did you really have to go that far? When it came to magic, Troop Grand Marie was so passionate, or should I say extreme, about it that it had to cause problems for them from time to time. So it was like that they take it so seriously. They take it so seriously. Yes, it even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics. And now the troop's successor has committed a murder. It seems that the troop's rare talent was inherited by the right person after all. A putrid talent for criminality. Do not start this now, Utah. Do not start this. Everything went so quiet as well. We're not ever saying anything about Trucy like that. Ever. You sound rather extreme yourself, prosecutor. Criminals and impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor. Oh man, when you find out that Trucy's innocent. When you find out that Trucy's innocent in all of this. As I was saying, after his expulsion, Mysterious apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troop. Yeah, I think with Samadi, he like has a very like out of nowhere, he'll go from being like the most like gentle toned person I can like in terms of his words to just like cutting the air with something like really like either insulting or like brutal, right? And he like doesn't hold back. And there he said something like where he thinks Trucy like inherited like criminality from the troop Grand Marie, which to me is like, you know, such a horrible thing to say about anybody, you know? And that's why like it's one of those situations where like it's gonna be such a great satisfying thing not only to take down some people that I wanted to take down, like Ratons, but also to showcase to this dude that Trucy is completely innocent, you know? It's gonna be very satisfying. He would tell those close to him, I will get my revenge on Troop Grand Marie someday. Revenge? That certainly sounds antagonistic. So 13-year-old poster updated in the court record. And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Sky. So he has a lot of stuff here he's thought about, right? I guess I don't have a choice, do I? Again, she has to be impartial, right? Oh, here we go. Witness testimony. She has to be impartial. The defendant's motive. The victim planned to get his revenge on Troop Grand Marie during Trucy's magic show. Mysterious was going to steal the Grand Marie notebook from the defendant, and we know that he did have the notebook, at least in his belongings, right? He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. Wait, he was gonna like save them all? That was the victim's plan for revenge. And while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, the defendants murdered him before... Wait, what? Wait, whoa. Wait, whoa. We're not even saying it's like an accident anymore. We're literally going with the idea of murder? Whoa. I almost went into a Luna song there. I almost said, let's pump it up. By the time the accused had discovered the notebook theft, it was too late. And here's the thing, we know that the notebook was there as well. Look at this one. I just think it's like it's gone to murder so quickly. And again, I know this trial is a murder. I know it is, by the way. I know it's been moved up to murder, but like I guess like Emma has to be impartial as well, I guess. But so do you think like if we're like talking about any type of statement, I think the second statement to talk more about the notebook and maybe the last one possibly. So 3 and 5, I guess. We could try and press or something. Her only option was to kill Mysterious and make it look like an accident. Oh my god, that's not Trucy. That's what's crazy about this. It's like if you knew Trucy, like I know people say it's sometimes at least the people you least expect, but it's Trucy, for God's sake. Please object. Thank you, Apollo. That's nothing but conjecture. Look at this beautiful man. Objection. Oh, he's a deep objection. The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFam, gave the police a statement. She testified just before the start of the show. Mysterious said, I'm going to reveal all the Troop Grand Marie secrets on stage today. He would do that? Why would he? Okay. Why would he just say that to Bonnie? What? He just said his plan? That's like evil genius level of like, you're tied up in the chair and he says the plans like so it delays the inevitable and you can escape or something. Why would he say the plans just outright? Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it? I mean, like, that again is just like, is that well, I guess like a bit of hearsay, but like, I guess like it is a witness account, technically as well. You're telling me. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense, sure. Oh, and what's that? Oh, the butterfly. Let it go and move on. Oh my god, with the music hitting exactly when he says this as well, with the butterfly like a very supernatural butterfly balancing on his like hand symbols. Excuse me? Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. Oh, I'm helping one of the loveliest people who ever lived. Nayuta. One possessed, this is a great track. One possessed of an unclean soul will burn in the flames of hell. Oh, you, Trucy, first of all, will not die. But if she does, 2,000 years from now, she'll go to heaven. If there is a heaven. I'm not religious myself, but I'm trying to do the opposite of what he's saying. And then ever be burned in the sin of the next life. Again, he holds this soul in such high regard. He holds it in such high regard. But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Neither do I personally, right, at all. But the thing I believe in is Trucy. Trucy is a good person, and I know she is. She's a kid. Besides, I have no intention of giving up. Exactly, Apollo, exactly. This music is great. It's such a great track. Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, to him, it's such a natural way of saying this. He just says this naturally, but it cuts the air in the room. It's like, it's such a, calling someone putrid is like, if you call someone putrid in real life, that's like, you hate that person. But to him, it's just like every other second word. Every second sentence. It's natural as breathing air, him saying this. All actions have consequences, and yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life. Or the idea of reincarnation. A stink bug? He's laying it on as well. He's like putting the pressure on Apollo to like, give up. He wants him to give up. Now then, Judge. I mean, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. Oh yeah, we have to do cross-examination as well. That's the thing with him. He does take over the court. Like he does. And his presence like maybe forget about the idea of like the cross-examination for a second, because he goes on this like on these, these speeches, and there's so much like there's so much spirituality to the speeches, but also at the same time too, there's such like a strange cutting nature to them that it's really like it does take over the screen. So what did we say? We said we're gonna try and press the last one. And this one, right? Was it this one? We know that Bonnie is saying that he said this. And what was this one again? That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did in fact steal it, so that's just like a precursor to the last one. So let's try and press this one. Hold it. I'm going to reveal all Troop Grammary's secrets on stage today. That's what Mr. Reese said himself, right? Right, but he didn't exactly specify which Grammary secrets he was talking about. But the prosecution thinks he was referring to the secrets behind the Troop Grammary's magic. That is the prosecution's assertion. When the accused realized that Mr. Reese was to reveal her family's most closely guarded secrets, she naturally panicked. But again, it's like, it's so difficult because you can't just talk about someone's personality in a courtroom. You can. People do that. Lawyers do that in terms of like trying to defend their client. They go, she was a good person. She was kind. She had a family. But it can't just be about that, right? It has to be also about the idea of the, what do you mean? What do I mean now? What I'm trying to say, it has to be like also like evidence, right? But from my perspective, it's like, I wish I could just be like, Trucy wouldn't do this. Why would she do this? Like, yes, she might have panicked if someone was going to reveal stuff, but she would just, I think she would fight someone for it, but I don't think she's going to kill someone over it, I think 100% if Mysterious came to her and said, I'm going to reveal all the secrets, she'd have no trouble, like, I think, chasing after them and, like, kicking them in the shin over and over again. I have no doubt in my mind. But I just don't see her, doing this. So basically, Trucy's notebook was hiding in Mysterious's things because he had stolen himself. We did find it there within his things, but it was so blatant, though. It's like someone planted it. I see truly a motive that only a magician could have. Yes, that's what the prosecution believes anyway. So should we try pressing the last statement as well then as well? This statement here. The defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets.
Hold it!
It's gone so far into this as well. I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder? Honestly, I'm glad that Apollo said this, because this is my first thought as well when I saw this too, which is like, you know, Emma saying it's murder outright. But again, she has to because of impartiality, but like it's gone so far and just saying straight up like she killed him, not that it was an accident, not that it was like manslaughter, not that it was like negligence. It's just straight up murder. Beats me. So there's a beats me. Okay, that's good for us. What if you have nothing to do with it? If you have no idea why it is, the basis is beats me. You'll have to ask prosecutor somebody over there because okay, I get this now. Okay, so it wasn't just Emma kind of saying this for this because she saw evidence. It's Emma saying this because this is where the trial has gone. That makes sense. It's because it is a murder trial now, and she has to go with the prosecution's evidence and stuff like this as well. 100%. Okay, that makes sense. He hasn't told me his reasoning either. Well, that's like not good. Can we hear the reasoning then? Detective Sky, your feeding on information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, we deserve to get info too, Nayuta. Oh, poor Emma. She's in such a bad, like between a rock and a hard place here. The bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer. He's doing a little bit of a veiled, not even a veiled threat. He's saying like, hey, you might end up like losing your job here. And she just got that job. She's just got a job she's always wanted. And now she's being told like, if you keep, you know, giving information to Apollo, like, or feeding information, like drip feeding information to Apollo, you might get a transfer. Please don't get me kicked out of the forensic unit. Anything but that. I do think it's true what like they were saying is like he does really have a way of commanding the courtroom in a very interesting way. It's almost like it's his trial that he's a conductor and everyone, and not that everyone else is being controlled by it, but it's like he has a way of kind of like cutting in at every single thing we say, right? Even here now, he has a way of like, you know, cutting right to the bone with Emma. Please don't get me kicked out of the forensic unit. Anything but that. Again, she loves that. That's her freaking, yeah. She's really been risking everything for us. She has been. She's really stuck her neck out for us. She has. Well, Prosecutor Samedi, what are your grounds for claiming homicide? Like, Emma's done so much for us already. She really has. She's turned the other, she's looked away and given us like so much access. That's why I'd feel bad if anything happened with her. It was luminous tape in the understage passage. Oh, I realized that it had been moved. Oh, so it was like ripped up and put somewhere else? It was moved so Mr. Reese would climb into the downstage coffin by mistake. Wait, so he thinks that maybe... Okay, we'll see. Trucy put it there, maybe? What? Mysterious, who was waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder shown here on the left. Oh, to climb up into the smaller coffin? He was to climb into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area, after being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1. Mysterious was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin, but the luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. Wait, but not during this... Not during this, though. Right? No, not during this. No, he wasn't supposed to do it during this, though. That was... Because they mentioned recent Mysterious on the first one. And then... But they don't mention it on the second one, so he wasn't supposed to be a part of this... Right? I think that's what we're getting here, like, because they would have mentioned his name on the 10:20 one. The 11 a.m. one is where he was supposed to come in and do the fire trick. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage by itself by mistake. Maybe I'm just, like, misinterpreting that. Could be. The same coffin the accused thrust her sword into. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Look at my beautiful man. And you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape? But of course... Detective Sky? Oh, what's the proof? What are you talking about? Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant fingerprints on the luminous tape. You what? He actually had proof? Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on? No, again, see what I mean? He has this thing where he's trying to command every single moment, and he's good at it. He is good. It's almost like putting pressure on everybody in the room, in a way. He put pressure on Emma. He's putting pressure on us as well. Well, I think what they're claiming here is that Trucy just moved the tape so he would climb up into the other one and then she could stab him then in that moment. But again, Trucy wouldn't. But like, I totally get that, like, this is actually, I think whoever did this, obviously trying to maybe frame Trucy, actually, how do I say it without sounding weird? It's a good piece of evidence. You know what I mean? It's like a really damning piece of evidence because it's actually like, if they have proof that Trucy touched the tape in some way and then the tape was moved in some way and they have proof of that, it's a pretty good get for them, you know? And I'm not trying to be like, wow, they did so well against Trucy, because I don't want that to happen. But it's like, it's hard to not, you know, as an Ace Attorney player, to not be like, to kind of compliment them when they make, at least find a piece of evidence. Even if it's planted, it's like, oh man, that's actually like really good, you know? Absolutely not, because you guys know I call out like stuff when I feel like it's bad evidence, you know? But I'll always praise when they like find something, even if it's framed, where it's like, oh, that does get us a little bit, you know? And obviously we're gonna like go against that as well, of course, but you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, it works in some ways. Absolutely not. Detective, please add the information about the prints on the tape to your testimony. Wait, so... Hold on a second here. The defendant's prints were on the tape. I guess she must have moved it during the show. So, okay, there we go. Yeah, there is stuff there too. So, do we press this now as well? What made you think to check the luminous tape for prints? Wait! Trucy had gloves on. Trucy had gloves on. What are you talking about? Well, I bet it was detective's intuition. I dusted not just the tape, but about everywhere for fingerprints. Oh? I dusted pretty much every single surface in that theater. I know she has a passion for this, so I 100% believe that she would do this. I mean, it was so nice to be able to dust for prints without anybody getting mad at me. Yes, exactly. I'll look at her face as well. 100%, this is something that she actually 100% was looking forward to, which is the idea of being able to do this for a living. Yeah. It's great that you're enthusiastic, Emma, but there is such a thing as being too enthusiastic. I mean, sometimes it saves our lives, sometimes it gets us better evidence too. The tape was moved to guide Mr. Reese to the coffin that was downstage. If that's true, it does sound like a murder rather than an accident. That's what I'm saying. It's actually like if they're able to prove this is actually like one of those times where you're like, oh my god, that's actually pretty damning. That's pretty good in terms of evidence. It certainly doesn't help that Trucy's prints are on the tape. But she has gloves on though, right? I wish I knew what sound would even be appropriate to make in this situation. That's such a good way of just saying that you do not know what to do right now. It has to have something to do with the statement that's been changed, right? It has to. Is there any way we can show that Trucy did not... Do we have Trucy's... Oh, there's a fingerprints file here. Yeah. Trucy wore gloves during the show. Can we present this on this and be like, hey, Trucy wore gloves?
Objection!
Like, how is her fingerprints there? I'm sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony. Oh, really? The prosecution has claimed that Miss Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim into the coffin downstage. Oh, look at his face. Look at his face. We love an objection from Apollo. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't? Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin, which shows that not one of my client's fingerprints were found on or in it because she had gloves on. So what Apollo was trying to say here, which is actually very smart, is that like, yes, she could have moved it beforehand or she could have like touched it beforehand, but it makes no sense that she'd be able to do it during the show because then she'd have to take off her gloves. That's true. We didn't find any of her prints in the coffin. Oh, the nod. I think you realize what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Yeah, there we go. A good pushback. A really good pushback. Oh, there's Trucy because she was wearing gloves during the show. Oh. She must have left the prints somewhere before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's evidence was insufficient. Oh my god, and we get a point as well. We love a point from Apollo, we do. But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that. Oh my god. She goes, oh my. But on a personal level, I'm very happy with that. That's so awesome of Emma, right? I love the personality shining through with like Emma too, where she's like, oh, but actually that's pretty cool. You know, I love that it wasn't Trucy's fingerprints, or it couldn't have been at the time at least. Well, prosecutor Somebody, in the defense's argument, if the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence that the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim. I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I thought. Okay, so you're giving some praise to us. More than a stink bug at any rate. Okay, it was not as much praise as I thought. This music as well, man. Come on, you can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Apollo. Apollo's like, I'll take a stag beetle. Would that really be any better? I think he got lost in the moment, Athena, if I'm being honest. I think Apollo just was like, please, not please, but like, hey, what if I could be a stag beetle? You know when you get lost in the moment, you don't know what you're saying sometimes? Adrenaline's pumping. Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs. Okay, no, it's even cuter than I thought. Apollo likes bugs. Oh. And the defense's wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle. Then answer me this question. Okay, this is for a promotion apparently. Alright, shoot. Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim, the victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide and entered the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust a sword into said coffin with the victim in it. So what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right? Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case, which is, if the accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose, then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. Okay, that's better than murder, but still we have to prove that's not true either. We have to prove that she wasn't the negligent one, you know? If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter. We're going to argue even less than that. I mean, more than that technically. We're trying to argue that it's not that, but I'm saying we're going to get a lesser crime than that. We're going to get no crime. We're going to get completely innocent. I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances, and the severity of the crime could be mitigated. Yeah, and again, I think it's involuntary manslaughter is usually about negligence, right? Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, this track is so good. Then do you argue that it was an accident? We argue that none of the above. This is the all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Reese's death was an accident or a murder. No, it's a murder. It's a murder. It's a murder. It's a murder. Right. Okay, this is actually brilliant. It's brilliant writing on the part of Ace Attorney. I think he wants us to say accident. Because if we say accident, then that proves that Trucy we're trying to argue that Trucy might have been involved in that too and tried to lessen her sentence. We're not here to lessen her sentence. We're here to say someone else murdered him and framed Trucy. That's what we're here for. We're not here for just accident, to say it's an accident. We're saying, yes, exactly as Apollo. The defense maintains the defendant is entirely innocent, 100%. We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. Look at the face. What's more, we believe that it was committed by a third party. That's exactly it. Because for a second there, I was like, accident, right? We can at least argue that for now. But it's like, no, that's what they want. Because then Trucy is still the one involved. Trucy's still the one that will get in trouble. And we don't want that. A third party as in the true culprit is someone else? There we go. The murmurs of the crowd. At least they're not chanting for our extermination this time. That's something. That is quite a brazen claim to make. And one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loudly in emptiness. No. You have no idea how beautiful the mind of Apollo Justice is, and you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. I'm telling you, my beautiful man. Surely you were but loud. What? What? You were but a loud red pepper in previous. Who calls someone a red pepper? I've heard all the insults in the book in Ace Attorney, but never red pepper. I've been demoted to a vegetable? Don't worry, Apollo. You're much better than red pepper. Much better. Wow. I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim. We do? Let us hear this reasoning of yours then. Alright, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. He's thinking. I love the animations and poses. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. Oh, poor Trucy. If that's the case, then how do we wind up with a dead body inside the coffin? A very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. My take, and I could be wrong, is that the body was already dead. Or maybe like they were already injured at the very least before they went into the coffin. Oh god. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin? So he was killed in the coffin. I was trying to argue against that. It was magic? No. So I guess he was killed on the stage then. And then put back up into the coffin. Because yeah, I'm trying. That's my opinion against this. It's always been an opinion, like a theory I had that he wasn't killed inside the coffin. We can't say it was magic. Process of elimination. He was killed on the stage. What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? Man, I'm getting such adrenaline from this music. It's crazy. When you get into these modes here in Ace Attorney, I know we're gonna get dragged down to earth at some point, right? But these modes, these feelings, when you get that feeling, it's like, oh my god, there's nothing like it in Ace Attorney. In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go? Oh, I see. In that case, the defendant's sword wouldn't have been the cause of death. How do you respond, Prosecutor Samari? That is the third time. The third time for what? The third time of what? Did he just chuck his... I cannot believe that there was a time when I was like, oh, maybe he's not going to have like his little thing that he does to the defense lawyer. No, it's not a whip. It's not coffee. It's not a glass being shattered against the wall. He's throwing his beads at her head. What the heck is this? What is he doing now? I actually love his voice actor quite a bit. Wait, it's like restricting us? Judge. What do you think you're doing? Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she's struck 3 times. Wait, is he saying that we've done 3 things in this courtroom so far? Because he has insulted us twice, right? He first called us he called us putrid twice. So I wonder if this is our 3rd strike or something. Is this us about to be dragged down to earth? Since you never learn, you needed to be punished. Why don't you let me worry about what I need to and don't need? I love that Apollo's not backing down, by the way. I love that he's not backing down. Is it what you deserve for interfering? It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred last rites for the victim. You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Again, such cutting words. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon. A sermon? Now? There's a passage in the sacred scriptures of the Curanism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake. What does that mean? Does that mean like even like the kind of like weakest of species when cornered will like make an effort to like fight back or something? Huh? A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Okay, so he's saying we're the cornered frog that tried to eat a snake. Did I get it right? No, for I am not done with my sermon. Okay. And yet, the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from... Oh, is he saying, yes, they will try to fight back against the snake, but the snake will still win in the end because it's still fighting against a snake. So he's saying he's the snake then, even though we got like a little bit of a pushback against him on this stuff, he's still gonna eat his way out of our belly. Very interesting way of saying it. Again, he's such like a wayward words. Not only does all the focus in the courtroom feel like it goes onto him almost immediately, but it's also this thing where it's like I feel those words. They almost like feel so sharp against me as well. And in this case, you are that frog defense. What exactly is your point? Anyway, oh look how cute he is. I think he's saying that you tried to fight against a snake and the snake is about to rip out of your belly. The snake is about to do something to you right now. Let's assume for the moment that the victim was killed onto the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show? Oh god, this is a good question, because we even said ourselves that with Bonnie, for example, we know for a fact Ratings was gone. We also have said ourselves that Bonnie couldn't have had a chance to like do things in front of everybody, at least not during the actual stage show, and also like... I mean, I guess maybe before the show, but during the show, no. It would have been very hard for Bonnie to do anything. It's the third party. Let's see, the people in the show where Bonnie DeFam, the victim mysterious, and Trucy Wright. But there was another set of handprints. Bonnie DeFam was on stage throughout the entire show. And is easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Yes, that's what I said that too. I did say that too. Which leaves us with only one suspect. Trucy Wright. Like, it's, you know what's actually really crazy about this prosecutor? While, like, I think that it's really, like, obviously disrespectful the way he talks to Apollo, and I'm not a fan of it. While I think it's disrespectful the way he talks about Trucy, I'm not a fan of it, right? I think that he's one of those prosecutions, and this is a rare thing for me. And you guys know it's a rare thing for me, because I will always question those prosecutors as well. I think that the evidence that he's pushing back with us, in some cases, I think with the tape stuff, even if it was totally, like, a thing where, like, it wasn't true, it's a good piece of evidence. And now with this stuff as well, with the idea of Bonnie, we also know that we saw Bonnie on stage. So we have to find out, like, the other person who had the other fingerprints to say there was someone else that was involved in the show, because we're an alibi for Bonnie too. We said that ourselves, you know? And also, Ratings has an alibi too, so it's that third party. So it's one of those situations, a rare occasion where I look at, like, a prosecutor, you know, and prosecutors have done amazing work in the past too. I'm not saying they haven't, but I'm saying in this case, it's one of those situations where I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, that's good. That is good. Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Reese as he waited on standby in the understage passage, and then placed his dead body in the coffin above. Look at the stare he has right now. It's like so sharp and cold and direct. Oh, they zoomed on his face, of course they did, thus making the murder look like an accident. No, Paul, we gotta stay strong. We gotta. Oh, great and merciful Holy Mother. Thus another putrid mind has been guided toward enlightenment. And look at this, he goes from being very stern, very scary, very commanding, and then when he feels like he said what he needs to say, he goes calm again, chill, you know? I can't believe I swallowed his trick question whole. That's the thing. They said he's good at commanding this place. They said he's a good prosecutor. And like we've gone up against Edgeworth. We know what good prosecutors are like, but they're all different, right? They all have good ways of doing their own way of doing things. We don't always agree with them. Some prosecutors I've questioned in the past like a million times over. But I think what's dangerous about this prosecutor is that not only is he cutting and biting with his words, not only is he very commanding with this whole room here, it feels like he is able to, like, you know, tunnel and like funnel people into like a certain way of thinking. And he knows their weaknesses, and he knows Emma's weakness, you know, in terms of like her love for her job and stuff like this too. He's also like not bad at pointing out the evidence that actually kind of like makes sense. You know, that's what's kind of scary about him. It's like he has all that and he's doing this. He's quite scary. Objection! Oh. Athena? Yes, Athena, what? Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here. Yes, Athena. Look at the anger on her face, too. Yes. I love Athena bringing in an objection as well. And sometimes we need that, right? Sometimes we need someone else to step in and be like, look, let's stop for a second. Athena, what are you... There's something I want to point out, Apollo. Yes, Athena. And Athena's more than capable of doing this. More than capable. And who might you be? This is Athena. You strike me as a mere child in countenance. This is Athena Sykes, right? She's amazing. She's the best. She's bright and bubbly. She's hilarious. She's so intelligent. Get ready. Get ready. I'm on the sidelines now, folding my arms. I may be young. Oh, the smile, but I have an attorney's badge just the same. Heck yeah. Show it right there. Show it right there. If I'm Apollo right now, I'm like pointing towards it. Look. Look. I'm just so happy that she was able to like give her input here as well. And again, it's very much needed. And again, as I said, she's more than capable of doing this. She is a lawyer herself. And you would contribute to this discussion. Sorry, I'm messing up my words today. I'm recording later than usual. Not that I don't always mess up my words. And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity? I most certainly would. Tell him, Athena. Tell him. Get widget out there. Wait! The mood index? Oh, I thought we were doing the mood thing. You just argued that the defendant killed the victim onto the stage. But then let me remind you that Miss Wright is a girl. Okay. Clearly. Surely you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact. Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home. Listen, buddy. I don't like you disrespecting Apollo, don't like you disrespecting Trucy, and I don't like you disrespecting Athena. So Athena, please. Own him. Own him right now. Own him. Yeah, there's a hold it. Let's go. But I'm not done with my sermon. You don't need to talk like a prosecutor, Samadi, you know? I love that she's kind of adapted the way he's spoken as well. Listen, if the victim was killed in the understage passage, then his body would have then been hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl and pretty petite, a pretty petite one on that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up to in the coffin. And here's the thing, right? Like, I think there's, like, plenty of girls who could, like, throw me a mile away. You know what I mean? They could pick up Calvin and throw me a mile away. But I think the point is here is it's not just even about being a girl. Because, again, I think Emma could, like, pick up Phoenix and, you know, give him a fireman's carry into, like, a attitude adjustment wrestling move, 100%. But I think what, you know, we can take from this is that this is a 30-year-old full-grown man who has some, like, muscle to his body. Clearly, we saw he has, like, some big forearms, right? And Trucy's a 17-year-old, like, kid who isn't, like, this big muscular person, right? And it's not like she does, like, powerhouse stuff all the time. She's a tough girl herself. So, yeah, that does make sense. Like, she wouldn't be able to, like, especially dead weight. Like, the dead weight of Mysterious, you know, the Mad of Mystery. That would be a pretty tough thing for anybody. I mean, for me, I know for a fact, for me, like, I give up. Like, carrying the dead weight body of, like, a freaking, you know, fully grown dude. That's true. It does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it. Exactly, yeah, 100%. What do you think of that, prosecutor? Who's the child now? In my religion, the priestess of the Koreanism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs. Okay. So I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. Yeah, like, no one would say you're disrespecting women. I always think highly of the female perspective. That's cool. That's very cool. Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child. I do love that with Athena as well, because that is a good thing to point out, right? It's like, I respect women, right? It's like, okay, but then, like, you know, the first chance you get, you call, you know, this woman a child. You know what I mean? You demean her. You know, you put her down a bit. So I do love Athena pointing that out. Who's a fair maiden? I mean, she could be a fair maiden if she wants to be. 100%. I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused Trucy Wright, that is. You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain how that even be possible. But of course. Let's go. We're going to hear what he has to say now as well. So he has an idea of how this could be possible. There was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up. Oh, is he talking about the scissor lift? But are we going to say maybe it was, no, because the other one was working, right? But she swapped him, didn't she? I'm trying to think of the logistics of this. We'll go through this and think of this. It's probably going to do something to do with the scissor lift. Huh? Wait. You really can explain it? I foresaw that our argument would come to this, so I prepared a witness. Well, I admire your readiness, prosecutor. It's really not that difficult once when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial. He couldn't have really predicted that thing would turn out like this, could he? I think the way he spoke here, yes, I think he could. When he said this, here, where is it? I agree your point is worth discussing, defense. He wants to discuss this, and that's why they said he's good at commanding the courtroom. He's good at, like, making people go to the arguments he wants. He wanted to get to this point. It's almost like he wanted someone to explain or to say the idea of, like, how could Trucy lift up this dude? 100%. Yeah. It's pretty hard to believe. But again, we heard that's, like, a part of his personality. He, like, it's almost like he is waiting for someone to make that argument. He has an answer for almost everything. Excuse me, but may I step down now? Yes, I suppose you may. One moment, Detective Sky. I'm sorry for, you know, the way I handle all this. Again, she's so scared of losing her job, her dream job. You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable. Okay. It was? Yes, you served well as a detective and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. And again, as much as I would love to just, you know, be like, no, Emma, like, give your personal feelings, right? it is one of those things where she kind of has to be like impartial, and it would mess up the any trial if there was a non-impartial detective, you know? And she already did so much for us as well. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work. How you feeling, Emma? Huh? Oh, thank you. I hope we can work together again in the future. Emma seems bewildered by the unexpected praise. I guess he's a pretty nice person, like to say, as long as you're not up against him. That's the thing, right? I totally get what Athena's saying here is that, like, he's rewarding her for doing something good, which is a good thing. Like, she should be rewarded for being good at her job, right? But the thing that I will always think about here as well is that he also just said something demeaning to Athena just 2 minutes ago. He also just, he also insults Apollo every few moments he gets as well. I understand he said this part of, like, the way he does things as well. So I don't think he maybe means it in that way. But I think I've yet to decide my opinion fully on the personality and the morals of Samadi. But I'm glad that Emma's going to get some praise for doing a good job, and maybe she can sleep sounder knowing that she's not going to get fired, because the last thing I'd want for us personally is to lose someone who is actually really good at their job that can help us. That would be horrible. And the second thing is I would not want Emma to be upset in any way as well. Now then, let's call the next witness. Who's the witness for this too? It has to have something to do with the stair lift, right? It has to. Oh, okay. It's Bonnie. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you.
Oh my god. This music, this bubblegum music playing in the background. Again, she wants to be a star, right? She wants to be a star. She's getting to do it technically here, perform in front of an audience here today.
I'm logomorphing illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bonnie DeFam. I can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you.
Please, witness. There is a time and a place for all things, including magic.
Aw, but it would be okay to just do a little magic, right? Come on, please. Look, everybody is waiting. Now's my chance to shine.
Oh my god, he shut that down. That is your second time. Oh, don't get to the third.
My second time doing what?
Body's like, I do not know what you're talking about. I love the confusion. Like, what are you saying? There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct? So they had a meeting before this. Yep. Is no one exempt for his holiness rosary of suffering? That's the thing. I think he has, like, it does feel like he has such a clutch on this trial, right? It's weirdly like calm for a trial that is about, like, no, I'm not calm, by the way. I'm full of anxiety thinking about, like, what's he going to do next, right? Of course. But I'm saying, like, in terms of the energy of the courtroom, he's so, like, sure of himself, and he has an answer for everything. It feels like he's, like, again, he's commanding the courtroom. There's a weird, like, energy about this court case that's, like, different from, like, when we're fighting other prosecutors, where it generally feels like it's just, like one thing is flowing to the next in a very, like, in a much more calm manner than you would expect, right? It's weird. It's such a weird feeling. May we have your testimony, witness? Once you've recovered from your disappointment.
Well, as a huge fan of Trucy,
Oh no, don't start this.
I don't really want to testify against her.
Then don't. I think you can, like, make a grounds that you're too... No, you can't you? I don't think you can if you're a friend. I don't think that's how it works.
But I guess I have to, don't I?
As a huge fan of Trucy's, huh? We know that's not true. We know that's not true, yeah? Look at her there.
I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand Trucy Wright. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. This is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves.
Great characterization, though, I think, from with Bonnie. Sure, you're a real fan, all right, of destroying Trucy, you mean. I adore, because, again, I feel the same way, right? I do not like, in any way, shape, or form, anyone going after Trucy, or anyone going after any of our pals in this game, and the people we love in this game. Like, I love that Apollo, like, at least in his mind, is being, like, very biting about this. Like, yeah, sure, you're a real fan of destroying Trucy, He's so frustrated by this, as you should be. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. The understage passage. Let's go.
I really can't believe that Trucy killed Miss Sears. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body up if she uses a stage lift.
Yeah, the scissor lift. They call it a stage lift. I'm gonna press that.
Is it possible? Could Trucy really have?
Or do we press... I guess we could press that too?
If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift 2.
Stage lift 2 was broken. Stage lift 2 was broken.
I was on stage for the entire show, by the way.
So should we present the stage lift on that thing as well? You were on stage for the whole time? And you're sure about that? I mean, I'm kind of sure about that. That's what scares me about this trial. I'm sure of that. I'm pretty sure I saw her too. There's no question. The entire audience could testify to the fact. That's what's scary about this. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. I can attest to her I can be your alibi this time. This is one of those times that I'm an alibi for this trial. What's more, she is shown clearly in TV show footage as well. Yeah.
I couldn't possibly have killed Mysterious. Not little old me.
Oh my god. Little old me. Little old me. Therefore, only one person could have killed the victim on the stage. The only person who could is the accused. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty. You've got to be kidding me. Very well, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. So I think I want to just try, first of all, just presenting the stage lift, the scissor lift. But is that the actual... The problem is the evidence actually about the scissor lift itself? Let's check the court record here. It is stage lift 2. The stage lift Trucy had to move out of the way during the show since it already was all the way up. So it was already all the way up. So wait, this wasn't that? Doesn't that mean then it was, if she had to go through this way here, that means the stage lift was over here instead. So it was in the wrong place as well. Again, I'm not sure the logistics completely of that, but let's go to that statement and I'll present that right away. We know that it was broken. We know that it was broken. Swinging that cane around. Objection! Oh, the music's still playing. We got that wrong, I guess. The witness statement contradicts this piece of evidence, Your Honor. And just what part of the testimony is inconsistent with this evidence? Huh? That's funny. I thought I saw an inconsistency a second ago. So, okay, now we have to think about this even more. I definitely jumped the gun then. It disappeared like magic. We're gonna lose a life here. The murder occurred during a magic show, so crazy things like this are bound to happen. Let's not say that, Apollo. Oh, really? Well, let's see how magical you think a penalty is.
Seems pretty normal to me, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see this again, this statement. If Trucy did use a stage lift, I think she must have used stage lift 2. Now, the reason why I used stage lift 2 is because I thought, like, okay, it's not working. So, stage lift 2, Trucy had to move out of the way during the show, since it was already all the way up. So maybe they're saying that it was lifted up with him on it. So maybe the reason why we can't use this as evidence is because it was there. It was, even if it was broken afterwards, it could have been working beforehand as well. So maybe we can use this to say that this was used before the trial, but we just can't use it yet. Like, someone already used the lift to lift up the thing, and Trucy had to move it out of the way herself. Since it was already all the way up. But it was already up in the position where her... Yeah, so it was under her door. Mat of Mystery was brought up through that. Then it was locked in place somehow. And then she had to move it. So I think what we're going to argue later on is that it was already up before she even got down there. Right? Okay, what I might do is I might press this statement just for now. And then we'll talk about everything else afterwards, right? Because this is still a statement which I want to talk about. Maybe this will add something to the actual thing as well. Stage lift 2. You mean the stage lift shown here on the left? That's right. With a stage lift. I think even a small girl could easily lift a dead body to the stage. And so that makes her the murderer in your opinion?
Of course not. I believe in Trucy.
Again, it's one of those things where it's so underhanded, right? It's so underhanded for her to be like,
Trucy couldn't have done it, but maybe she could have done it with the stage lift.
You know, like she's trying to like add a little bit of like a bit of evidence in there.
There's no way she would do it, but maybe if she did it this way, you know, maybe this way. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh, brother, how long is she going to keep this act up? Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. And it would be even more frustrating for Apollo. This is, you know, basically a sister. Well, literally a sister, but like in his mind, like a sister too. Defense, what position was stage lift 2 in after the show? Let's see. If I recall, it was the fully raised position. Ah! And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body. Wouldn't you agree? Ah, but how though? Like, why also? Because, sorry guys, I'm trying to explain here. I'm not in my right space today. Like, the reason why I don't think that this makes sense at all is because not only because like this happened during the show when she was like, you know, up above, but also the reason I think it doesn't make sense is because Trucy had to move it. If she wanted to kill Reese in that moment, or if she wanted to pull off the trick in that moment, why would she like mess it up in such a way that she had to like forcefully move this around? And it was Bonnie who messed up. Bonnie messed up the positioning of the stuff. Bonnie wasn't it Bonnie who messed up the positioning? I'm forgetting exactly what the logistics of this is. I think Bonnie messed up the trick so that Mr. Hat got put up the other way. So then Trucy had to come up the other way. So she had to move it. Why would she purposely go through all this hardship? Maybe I'm getting confused, guys. I could be getting confused. It happens sometimes. It definitely has happened sometimes. She moved when she came downstairs, this was under her position already. So someone had already put this in the position where she was already. It was already like, right. So she had to think fast and move it out of the way. My argument is, why would she put these in this position, lock this in place, or like mess this up, and then also do the stage show afterwards as well? Like, it sounds like it's just like shooting yourself in the foot if she wanted to actively try and like kill Madam Mystery. Right? Do you get what I'm saying? It seems like too much of like a hassle. Feel free to slowly mull it over while you roast over the flames of hell. You evil red pepper. The red pepper joke is crazy. Calling someone a red pepper is crazy. So now I'm also evil? So, okay, what else do we have here as well? So that didn't exactly get us anything new. I was on stage for the entire show, by the way. We know this to be true, right? We know this to be true, so what else can we, like... Is it possible? Could Trucy really have... I don't think... This doesn't seem like a pressable statement. I guess it's possible for a small girl to lift the bed. We have to use a stage lift. We can try and press this. What makes you think it would be possible? It's not like you tried it out yourself, right? This seems like it's gonna go nowhere. Well, actually, we did try it out for ourselves. You did? He has an answer for everything, doesn't he? Detective Sky, if you would. Oh, Detective Sky's coming back. Emma? Oh. So that's why you made me do that. Detective Sky, what did he have you do? The prosecutor asked me to try raising one of the male police officers with the stage lift. Okay. Without a single word of explanation as to why he was making me do it. You're kidding. It's as if he really can foresee all of our counter-arguments. That's what makes him scary. It has to be that. You know what I mean? It's like, again, I'm not saying he's like omnipotent or maybe he can see the future. And even though we know that is like a thing that people can do in like Ace Attorney games. But like, it just seems like he's like prepared for everything. The courtroom is his. He owns this place. Do not underestimate this humble servant of the Holy Mother. I'm not underestimating you whatsoever. More like haughty. Haughty?
I guess that means Trucy could have lifted the dead body up. Does that mean...
So what was the first statement again? I really can't believe Trucy killed Mr. Reese. This doesn't seem very pressable either. Right? But I guess we can press it? You know? It doesn't seem like one of those statements you would usually press. You said you are a huge fan of Trucy's, isn't that right? Like, we can question her being a fan of Trucy, but how do we prove she's not a fan of Trucy? No, we can't. Oh yes, I became a magician because I wanted to be just like her. Oh my god, the lies.
The first time I saw her, she was performing at the Wonder Bar. She was only in junior high back then, but she got up on stage with tons of confidence. And then she proceeded to win my heart with her astonishing tricks and winning smile.
She certainly sounds like she means all of that. That's the thing. You can't prove, unless the only way you could disprove it is that she did some horrible stuff to Trucy, and we know she did. But like, right now we can't just be like, you're lying, because it's like, what, you're going to tell someone that they're not a fan of? Like, where's your proof, you know? So finally, being able to perform with her must have been quite a treat for you, right?
Oh yes, after all, it was my chance to have her see me. Not just as a fan, but as a fellow magician.
Oh my god, with the bunny rabbit. Bonnie, if you were a good person, you would be amazing. You know, this would be so great.
But then, that horrible accident happened.
It was not an accident. It was murder. Witness, please explain if you would. How a small young woman such as Trucy Wright could have raised the body. So I guess, like... should we try just pressing the last statement then? Because again, it's one of those things where it's like, I was on stage for the entire show, by the way. Is there any way of like saying that maybe she wasn't on stage for the entire show? We could try? You didn't have a single spare moment to slip down onto the into the understage passage?
Huh? Don't tell me you suspect me now.
Oh, there's more than suspect. There's more than a suspecting feeling. I'm just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Yep, 100%. Depending on how solid it is, I might have to suspect you, yes.
You gotta be oh my god, don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining lawyer.
Oh my freaking god. Again, it's not like, it's weird for someone to like let down the mask so quickly, even though like, of course she could, you know, she could probably jump back into any moment. But like, don't spit on me and tell me it's raining, which means basically like, don't, it's kind of like, don't try to make a fool of me. I know you're trying to make a fool of me, right? Don't spit on me and tell me it's raining. Don't do one thing and tell me it's another thing.
I'm right here there in the footage, or you're too much of an idiot to see.
That's what I said too, but I'm trying to see if there's any like different thing. And I know you're guilty anyway of something, of at least like, actually no, I know you're guilty of like the crime. Yeah. So like, I have no problem questioning you, even if I got this part wrong. Mr. Pham, are you feeling all right? You seem suddenly different. Oh my god, Bonnie.
Oh, oops, where did that come from? All right.
Oh no. Oh my god, imagine that. Where did that come from? Oh, I don't even know.
Oh my, I seem to have snapped there for a second, didn't I?
A tee-hee. We're getting a tee-hee. You didn't just snap. You broke character just now. Exactly.
In any case, I was on stage the whole time performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance.
Flawless? That's odd, considering what you told me. You said that you'd made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat. Mr. Pham, what is the defense referring?
Well, I made a little mistake on stage.
She did, 100%.
I was in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. According to the script, I was supposed to place him onto the left of the coffin. But I flubbed it up and made him stand by the right of the coffin instead.
This is going to be important. This is going to be important. And because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lifts around. Yeah. So she had to swap stage lift 1 and 2, right? To get stage 1 to this place where Mr. Hat was.
I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof.
Tee-hee. Oh my god, I imagine she's not even going hee-hee. Like she's going tee-hee. Like literally tee-hee. Oh, was that it? Okay. I guess we may have to just press. Did we press every statement? Darn, I don't see any inconsistencies in her testimony.
Now do you know who the real killer is? Come on, Gramps, don't just sit there, hand down your ruling pronto.
That snapping out of that character stuff, like, is such a interesting character trait, right?
Do it quick before you keel up over there.
Because it is people who are like very fake like this, who have sometimes a hard time under pressure, or maybe when they get excited or angry in like keeping up that kind of facade, right? For sure. I beg your pardon?
Oops. What got into me? I'm so sorry.
The fact that she could just jump back into it as well. I give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask. I agree. She's it's falling apart. But I think that's like, it's one of those things like, if we're able to put pressure on her, we'll get her to like show her true colors more than anything. But right now she still has like, you know, this very adorable facade she's able to put up. So people are probably like going to be more charmed by that more often than not.
Well, defense, are you ready to let it all go now?
Of course not. I'll never give up.
I see. I suppose this too is fate.
Oh, wow.
The sacred scriptures of Kurdism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you who struggles ceaselessly against this fate, Papal Boldij seems most appropriate.
Papal Boldij? Oljig? People boil what? Oh, wait, that's Kuranese. It is. What sort of terrible place is Papal Boljig?
A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to Antolon's sandpit trap. What's Antolon's sandpit trap? It's probably something I should know, right?
Oh, there's one of those in my backyard. Really?
Wow. Kuran's hell is closer to home than I thought.
Yeah. And I think there is like a very psychological aspect to that as well. Like, while it's like a very religious thing, there's like such a like the fact that someone unchecked is allowed to just like say this stuff about someone else in the court, it would throw you off your game. It would like, make you sweat. It would make you anxious, And I think that's been a thing in like other court cases too. Like, Von Karma's been allowed to whip us at times. We've had coffee thrown in our faces. But this time it's just like really like scary, like threats and stuff like this as well. Like from a religious perspective, it would put you off your game so much. It would appear that the witness testimony supports the prosecution's claims that the defendant is only the one who could have killed the victims on the stage.
How are we supposed to get out of this jam? Hey, Apollo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology.
Okay, are we going to use her power as well?
Possibly. You mean, I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying.
Let's go. Oh my god, this mechanic's very fun.
See, Widget is picking up on the noise in her heart too. That's right. I think you can hear things that others can't with her super sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions of people suppress as a kind of noise or discord in their voices.
Alright, Athena, let's give it a try. So I think we're going to be going into... is it called the mood index, or is that a different thing? Or is that... am I just like completely getting that wrong? Or did I just make that up on the spot?
You got it.
Hold it! Hold it? Oh, it's Athena's hold it. Your Honor.
I'm afraid that our witness, Miss DeFam, is suffering under terrible traumatic stress due to this horrible incident?
She is?
Yes, what with that terrible death on stage? And her beloved Trucy getting arrested.
She's using this as a way to like, be able to like assess her, I guess.
She's under an awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she's unfit to testify. What?
I've heard of that. Oh, I've heard of that. What's it called? Postal stress disorder? Postal stress disorder? Is that what it's called? Where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. Is she going to utilize the idea that she's also like switching in between her like, her mask and her real self as a way to probably be like, well, look at her. She's clearly under stress, That's going postally. Oh, right. This is PTSD, right? Yeah, because I was thinking that wasn't what it was. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she were a different person. Athena's very smart to use this, right? Because if she's using like, I think it's fair game to use this kind of thing and be like, oh, she must be under stress, right? If she's lying about it, if she's already pretending to be like upset, then utilizing her fake sadness and fake stress and fake facade, by almost like, it's like killing her with like their own type of kindness where it's like, oh, she must be feeling so bad. Let's assess what's happening, Let's take a look at what's happening. I think it's actually like a really, great idea from Athena, like really, really smart.
Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Athena's like, let's just do it right here and now.
Oh?
Huh? Therapy? You don't know the first thing about magician's mental strength.
This music playing in the background as well, as Athena suggests a therapy session. Can you imagine how crazy it is a court system to be like, let's just have a little talk, a little chat?
I risked my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Oopsie. Boy, have I to watch my temper, don't I? Teehee.
Well, the judge has just seen this once again. Your temper, that rabbit is so cute. Yeah, the judge is like, we're gonna do this. Miss Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. It's a really intelligent thing that Athena just did. And I'm not saying it's like surprising. Athena's a great character and has always been like very, very smart too. But like, it's one of those situations where like, yeah, that's like, what a way to like think that up. Like, she was so great for thinking that up. The idea of utilizing her own facade against her and what the judge is seeing and her mask slipping as a way to say she's under so much stress, Your Honor, you know, and utilizing the judge's concern for Bonnie as well, you know. Very smart stuff. What exactly is this child planning to do, Mr. Justice? This is Athena. Respect her. With her super sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear the witness's true emotions. Slipping from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what the person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that the witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the moon matrix where I can analyze them. It sounds like some sort of superior devilry. Though I find it hard to believe, I must ask. How do emotions constitute evidence? While I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se, I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. I see. If you are in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. There we go. Even if this mere monk can see that something disturbs the witness. So even like somebody's like, hey, and again, that's the thing. Somebody's not like corrupt, right? He's not corrupt. He's not trying to be corrupt. So it's not a situation where he's like, don't do this. You know, he's kind of like, yeah, the witness is kind of like from my understanding of somebody, like if he found out the witness actually was lying, he would want to know that. Because it would be, he's not just trying to like sway the case in a way that is like not true. He's looking at the evidence that is presented in front of him, and he's really good at presenting that evidence, right? For sure. I'll disturb you. Oh my god. Honestly, though, I love the type of insult back when someone goes like, "Hey, like, just uses one word they said that doesn't even make sense, and to be like, I'll disturb you in a second, you know. Give me a hug. I'll hug you in a second. You just watch." Oh, thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Samadhi. Athena. Apollo, you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course. You're the lead on this case, after all. Fair enough. But do I need a refresher? So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end it right about here anyway. But I kind of remember what the mood index is, but we can get like a little bit of an explanation anyway. We're going to end it around here anyway. But I think I could use a refresher. Yeah, just in case, you know. But I remember it was like you have to check which emotion was vibrating the most, I guess. So Bonnie's emotions are shown here in the moon matrix, right? Sorry, not index. Matrix is what it was. Yeah, matrix. Exactly. Emotions I pick up on from her testimony are projected onto this program. The moon matrix gives a visual representation of the witness's testimony and emotions. These 4 moon markers reflect the fluctuations in the witness's emotions. As her testimony unfolds, the moon markers in the flash in reaction to the witness's feelings. Yes. When the witness feels happy or is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When the witness feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When the witness feels sad or scared by a memory, the sad marker will blink. Yeah, and so on and so forth, right? Surprised or confused, the surprise marker will blink. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. I need to find a conflict between what she's saying and which mood markers are blinking. That's right. And Miss Stefan definitely has some conflicted emotions. Athena, this is so clutch. It's so clutch. See? I'm going to reduce the noise, right? Widget reacts to suppressed emotions I pick up and projects them as noise. If you can pinpoint the inconsistency between her testimony and her feelings, the noise level should drop to 0% and the therapy session will be a success. When you find an unexpected emotion, first pinpoint it with L1, and then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 moon markers. So I guess so, like, she's going to have this image in it somewhere as well, where it looks like Athena's attacking Man of Mystery. Okay, now to give it a whirl. Okay, I was going to end it here, but we can end it right after we get whatever we have here. This is a crazy image as well, by the way. So I guess Trucy is the one who killed Mystery. So there's like that's a normal feeling to have, right? The idea of sadness. Right? That's a normal enough idea of feeling to have. Even she could move the body with that lift. This artwork is crazy, by the way. Like, look at this. Trucy with an evil smile. Come on.
I was on stage at the time. Okay. But that terrible mistake. So I guess that makes sense that there is like a bit of surprise there as well.
This artwork is so great.
My stupid flub caused Trucy so much trouble. I feel so...
The happiness, right? The happiness.
I have to say, Mr. Pham, you certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, it seems you're feeling happy about it.
The sweat is pouring down. I was like, oh my god.
I think I guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because it was Trucy's big debut. You messed Trucy up. You made a mistake. Is it you messed Trucy up? She was happy to do that? She was happy that there was a mistake? I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why would I be happy I messed Trucy up? I'm a big fan of hers.
Because we saw you.
I hate her. I loathe her. I can't stand Trucy White. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So it's exactly what that sniveling brat deserves.
We saw how you said you hated Trucy Wright. How you're glad she was in trouble. Even how it was what she deserved. Let's go, Apollo. But again, I don't know if we could use this, right?
It looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Yeah.
50%. At 50% noise reduction.
Apollo, the noise level dropped. Now if we can just get down to 0%.
Well, Mr. Pham, are you ready to confess how you really feel?
What? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie. Sweet, cute little Bonnie.
And she's saying this as she's doing this as well.
The rookie magician working hard just to be like my idol Trucy.
That's the character I'm supposed to be.
Objection!
Athena coming up with the objection. She said character.
Keep it up, Mr. Pham, and you're going to have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am?
The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside of you. Shut your pie hole. You know nothing, you know it all. Again, the insults.
I mean, you mustn't say things like that or I might get flustered.
Again, we know she's pretending, but to the judge now, she still has like a lot of like emotional problems, right? Mr. Pham, how long did you insist on maintaining this wolves in sheep's clothing act exactly? We can end this therapy session. We can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free. Again, we love a point. We love an Apollo point. Right on the nose. Again, it's frustrating her. It's putting pressure on her, right? It definitely is. Is she actually going to say something? Oh. Oh.
Don't make me laugh. You don't know a damn thing about me.
Oh my gosh, she doesn't even have like a little bit of the cuteness left. I mean, it's still a cute, like, you know, design, but...
You want to see who I really am? Fine, take a good look.
Wait, what?
What's happening?
What? That's such a sick design. Oh my god, the bats, the eyes. That's crazy. What in the world?
Sheep's clothes, you got all wrong. It's a rabbit suit I got on.
She's a bat inside of a rat, and look at the umbrella as well. It's so cool. What a cool character design.
And I'm not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bat with fangs and wings.
Oh my god, that's a great, great character transition. That's a great transition here.
I think we just opened a Pandora's box, probably. I'm finally done with the goody two-shoes cottontail act. I feel free as a bat.
Oh my god. It's like, again, she's embracing this now as well. So now we know she's like a bit of a liar. Really cool design though. Really cool design. Defense, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse. from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Oh my god. Isn't there, Miss Sykes? Methinks I created a monster. Again, from the judge's perspective, we did a therapy session and she got worse. You know what I mean? From the judge's perspective. We blew it. Hey you, lobster boy? And she still has the freaking bat wings as well. Who, me? You think I'm glad Trucy's in trouble? That I think she's getting her just desserts? This is a really cool motion as well. The animation's really cool. But guess what? You're right. So her testimony cannot be trusted now ever again. Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm? Well, the bat is out of the bag now. That mistake of mine was a work of art. Thanks to my goof, poor little Trucy had to do all of the hard physical labor. When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to? So did she do the stair lift as well? Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both those huge stage lifts. They must have been so heavy. What a riot. That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? All right, I'll update the mood matrix with new info. So I think we're gonna end the episode here because again, we've gone into like a lot of like the deeper aspects of this. We've gone into this for quite a bit actually. And we just got like one of the best character transitions in terms of designs when it came to Bonnie. I think it's a really great character transition. Like again, she already had like a really great design, right? But like, I can't believe we went from being like, oh, she's kind of adorable to being like, okay, she's probably a victim too, to being like, oh my god, look at her now, changing it to like the idea of a bat as well. Really great transition, really great breakdown. And now we're going into like a new mood matrix, but now we have a completely different character. And that's what's so great about like sometimes, but especially when it's like even before the end of the trial, we have like a character like Bonnie like kind of becomes something different and show her true colors. Because now the whole trial's different. Now the character we're talking to is different. It's like getting like it's like talking to two different characters in Ace Attorney sometimes. When you talk to like the witness first, and you try to get them to like admit that they're lying, and now they turn into a different character entirely. But this time it's almost like literal. It's almost literal with the design as well. We got her to admit this. So to talk about like just some of the stuff that's happened in this trial. First of all, I think that what we're up against in terms of Samadi is, I think, a very effective prosecutor in terms of just like evidence. And like, while I think that prosecutors have been good with evidence before, we've been up against some of the best prosecutors in terms of like their talent over time. Edgeworth always comes to mind with that too. Like we could be here forever talking about like how good they can be. But I think sometimes one thing that happens with a lot of the prosecutors, and you can look back on my playthroughs, I will question some of their evidence or some of their reasoning because sometimes they just have an advantage in the court. Sometimes they're trying to just shut us up. In this case, it's one of those situations that even though like it's not true, like the way it looks in terms of the evidence, the way he counters the evidence, Prosecutor Samadi is like very good at this. He's very good at pinpointing ways to like really get at us and tear apart our arguments. And while again, it's not true and while it's based in lies, he doesn't believe it's based in lies. He believes it's true. So he takes his evidence that he's using here, like for example, the tape, is a good example just at the start of this where I was like, oh, that's actually like kind of very good. Or saying that Bonnie was all on stage the whole time. Again, we believe that as well. Like I literally, I'm an alibi. I believe that as well. You know, we saw her there on stage this whole time. Like that's good countering to our evidence. It is because it's it's reasonable. It's understandable. And it feels like he's like expecting every single thing we do. Every time we make a statement, every time we do something, it's like he was predicting this. I know he predicted it, but wanted it so he could bring evidence back against it too. And we saw that at the start of this trial too. Like, what did he do? He said he wanted us to, at first I thought he wanted us to say that it was an accident, but I think he wouldn't have minded either way because he could have proven something there as well. But I do think that in the end, he did want us to say that it was actually a murder as well, because now he can definitively say beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's like, well, this is a murder case now. Even the defense agrees. We can't change this to an accident all of a sudden. So he got us to say that this was a murder, first of all. Again, we had to because it's true. It is a murder. Whoever framed Trucy murdered this guy, right? And then he was able to push back on a lot of other evidence as well in a very, very effective manner. Now, does that mean that I'm going to like him personality-wise? I think as a character, he's really interesting. I think his way of doing things is super effective. But obviously he's like not very nice to us, you know, and it's a very mean sometimes too, like the way he kind of demeans Athena, the way he talks about Trucy, I'm not a fan of whatsoever. The way he talks to Apollo, I'm not a fan of whatsoever either as well. So in terms of that aspect, I'm not like sold on him in terms of like his likability, but of course we're gonna have to know him over time. Maybe there's something else to him. I do think that it's like one of those things where like it's actually a really interesting idea to have like a judge that, in my opinion, he gives me a lot of a prosecutor. It gives me a lot of anxiety about what he's gonna say next, because he's actually like, you know, everything he's saying is kind of fair all the time. Like not fair, but like from his perspective, because it's not true. But from his perspective, it is true technically with the evidence, but it's not the true outcome what we want. But it's like he's effectively using the evidence that he has. But it's also the case that like he like almost like is so sharp and so cutting and so mean that like it takes the wind out of your sails for a bit, man. It really does. The stuff he says to you, it's like, that's so mean. Like, why would you say that? But I do think that he's like, yeah, not very nice to us, an effective prosecutor. And also it's very clear that he has like the cards in this situation and he wants us to go down certain roads. And that's what they said beforehand. He has a way of like funneling you into the place that he wants you to be. So he can effectively fight back against what you're saying. And so far he's been very effective with that. So yeah, that's my summary of who somebody is right now. He's not nice to us. I don't like the way he talked about Trucy. I don't like the way he talks about Athena. I don't like the way he talks about Apollo. But he's also a character who's very effective at what he does. And he gives me a lot of anxiety, but at the same time too, he like really like is making the case flow in a very interesting way that's very unique to him. The stuff with Bonnie is so interesting as well, because obviously we have a character who we know is lying. And as I said, I already talked about it, so I'm not going to talk about it at length anymore as well. The transition of Bonnie there into the Bat Bonnie, great transition. I love the idea of like Athena being so freaking smart here and utilizing her own lies against her. Because it's one of those situations where it's like if her mask kept slipping, so like she just turns to the judge and says, hey, let's try and help her out here. And the judge, of course, is like a sucker for an adorable character. So he's like, of course, please help Bonnie. And Athena's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And in a way, it had made her mask slip completely. And now it not only like will make her probably reveal more evidence, but also at the same time too, it also damages her credibility quite a bit, I feel like, you know? Because she intentionally messed up Trucy's magic trick, which to me means that she could have done more than that. If she's capable of doing that, now that's not enough evidence to say that she killed someone, but it's enough evidence to say that she didn't like Trucy, so she was lying about all that all along. That's a good avenue for us to go down. We know she hates Trucy at the very least. But yeah, great transition. So far I love the trial in terms of like how tense it's making me feel, how anxious it's making me feel, but also I love the challenge of going up against this prosecutor, and also it's again a unique feeling for this trial. And the way I say it is like every prosecutor has a way of doing things, but in this one there's like a flow to this trial that genuinely feels like it's flowing like it's really smooth in a weird way. It's like weirdly anxiously, like I know it's weird to say anxiously smooth because it's like I'm anxious, but at the same time everything's like flowing like exactly as he wants it to. So it's like it feels weird. It's so like it's like floating on a cloud to like a destination, and it makes me worried, but at the same time too, it's gonna feel so good to finally prove that Trucy has not done anything wrong. It's gonna feel so good. We know that now that Man of Mystery was kicked out of the Troop Grammary, so he has like a motivation to steal the secrets. What they're gonna say is that Trucy killed him to keep those secrets. We know that he wouldn't do that, but that's what they're gonna try and say. So we have to still find a way to counter this. We have to find a way to counter the idea of the stair lift, the idea of Trucy using the stair lift to lift up Man of Mystery, all this stuff. There's like a bunch of stuff here that we're gonna have to like be able to like counter as well. And there's more evidence still. Like we still haven't used like half of the evidence. There's still so much to do, right? We still have this recording as well. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this trial. I actually think it's like a very interesting trial as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for supporting me. It's been awesome to go along with this journey already with you guys, and we're not done yet. Thank you so much to Typefire 2, JB Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix. Let me get the names up here. Hey Names, get back here. Hey Names, what are you doing? Typefire 2, JB Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicius Felix, Yule, Radish Anusta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, Hike Experian, Jared Beanham, and the highest tier on my YouTube, Lord Give 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you guys so soon. Bye bye.